How's it going, everyone? This is Cloud Chief, and in today's video I'm continuing my new player leveling up guide, and we're going over G3 or Genkai 3 today. Before you can start this quest, you need to be at least level 56, so somewhere between 56 and 60 to be able to flag this quest. You flag it from the same NPC you flagged G1 and G2 from, which is Matt up in Rualud Garden. Once you have flagged this quest, there are some prerequisites we actually have to jump through. All these prerequisites are done during the mission 3-1 when you're going to get rank 4. So if you are not at that point in missions, you need to start going through missions and at least get to 3-1. You don't have to complete 3-1, but you need to be at least on 3-1 to be able to flag the prerequisites, so that way you can actually get the items to get access to the areas that you need to complete this quest. For more information about missions, you can go ahead and check the link down in my description, and my walkthrough for 3-1 goes over all the prerequisites. So once you have these key items and you're ready to go, we can head out to the zones and start making our way to get the crests. I'm going to start with Castle Ostroja. Before you actually make your way out to Castle Ostroja, take a look at what in-game time it is. If it is relatively close to the game day change, I recommend that you actually head to one of the other zones first. You want to go here basically as soon as it's been a new in-game day as possible, because a lot of things reset every game day in this zone, and it's going to make things a little easier just to get the first and third password on the way up to actually get into where you need to get the crest, and you won't have to be inputting as many passwords. You can access Castle Ostroja at L8 and Merfentald Mountains. So once you're in the castle, I would go ahead and head to the southeast corner of H8, and there will be a door. Go ahead and use the yagudo torch on one of the two torch stands to open the door, and then go ahead in and click on the brass statue. This will give you the first password that you'll need to go ahead and enter the courtyard where the crest is. Once you have the password, just go ahead and head out and make your way to I8, and this is where you will find the brass door. There will be two switches that you need to potentially hit. You need to stand in between the two of them, so that way it will allow you to reach it and go ahead and hit one of the switches. But be aware that one switch will open the door, the other switch is a trap door that'll open beneath you. So as soon as you hit the switch and you see the switch start moving, get out of the way so you don't fall down the trap. Once the door is opened, go ahead and proceed through and start going up the stairs. Once you're on the second floor, I would go ahead and make your way to H-Den's corridor, and then go ahead and head east. There will actually be a blank space on the wall. Click that and go inside, and go to the back side of this room. You will actually see a little thing that has 4 switches on it. This will tell you the combination you need to hit when you get to the 4 switch door, so that way you don't have to just randomly guess. You now know the exact combination to get through the door. From here, proceed all the way to the northeast side of H8, and there will be another brass door that you can go ahead and click the torch and enter, and then there will be a brass statue, and this will actually give you the third password that you need to enter the courtyard. From here, head out the room with the brass statue, head slightly south, and then make your way to F8. This will be where the 4 switch door is. Go ahead and put the combination that you saw a little ways back, and that will open the door, and then you can proceed through. From here, there's really only one way to keep going. Just keep going up the stairs and keep going around the winding hallways until you make it all the way up to the 4th floor. Once you make it all the way up to the top corridor, you need to either go to one of the side passageways, and there will actually be a place where you need to go ahead and light the torch. You do this, and that will actually open the door that is all the way north from the main passage where you came in on the top floor. Once you've hit the switch, go ahead and book it as fast as you can. Ideally with Flea if you have it on Thief, but if not, you can still make it with other jobs. And just get through the door as fast as possible, hopefully not aggroing and linking too many mobs, because these are high-level mobs. If you need to, you can clear the room with your trusts, and or you could always use an invis powder really quickly after you go ahead and light the torch to open the door. Once you're in the door, go ahead and stand on the wooden floor and go ahead and click on the brass statue. This is where you are going to start entering the passwords. It is case sensitive, so you need to enter uppercase for the first letter of the word and then the rest. You should have the first and third password. However, here is a list of all the potential passwords that are available. We did not go and get the second password as it is well out of the way to trek up here. But since you got the first and third, you now only need to guess one random password rather than guessing them all. Once you enter the correct password, you will drop through the trap door. You will now be down in a tunnel that leads out to the courtyard. You can go out to the courtyard, but be aware that the High Priest is true sight. So even with Invis, he will still aggro you. So where the High Priest is on the center platform, there is a triple question mark. You go ahead and click that, and that will get you the yagudo crest you need for this leg of this quest. Once you have the crest, go ahead and warp out. The next leg of this quest that I'm going to go over is Badou. You can access Badou by going to L11 in Pashao Marshlands. Just go ahead and head to the area where Devu Headhunter was at. From there, you want to go ahead and go up and hug the wall, kind of going around, so you are going clockwise until you get up to K8. From there, you should see a drop into a ditch that has a tunnel that is going down. Go ahead and drop down and go in the tunnel, and then keep following the tunnel around until it comes to a split. At the split, you're going to want to head and go south, as this is going to take you to where the mute is, so that way you don't get cursed. Once you're muted, go ahead and make your way back to where the split was, and then go ahead and make your way east. From there, just continually following the path until you get to a door that opens up to a four-way split. From here, just go ahead and head south, and then just keep following the path until you zone. From here, you should be in Kulon Dome. So you want to go ahead and move forward, but be aware that Ruby Quadav is an NM that will true sound aggro you. So it would be best if you make sure that he is to the back left of the room, so that way you can just squeeze by hugging the right wall and not aggro him with sneak up, so you're not aggroing the other Quadavs. Once you get past Ruby's room, just go ahead and click the door with the key items that you have, and you will go ahead and proceed through. Once you're in the next room, just kind of go ahead and hug the left wall, but don't go down the ditch. You should see triple question marks kind of across the room on the left hand side from where you came. Just walk over there and click that, and you will go ahead and get the quadav crest. At this point, go ahead and warp out, as we only have one more crest to get. So the last crest we need to go get is in Devoy. To access Devoy, you need to head to Jugner Forest and head to G12. Once you zone into Devoy, we need to actually make it to the upper areas of this, and it's a little bit of a hike. Go ahead and head south, kind of hug your way around the lake, and continually head south. This will then actually make you going east a little bit, and then once you're there, continually head south. You will then start wrapping a branch that'll start heading west, and it'll actually split near a river and an area where you can go north. Go ahead and head north, and then from there, hug the left wall, and this will zone you into Monastic Caverns. The zone line is at H11. Once you zone into Monastic Caverns, you need to follow the path and walk around and head north until you get to about G8. From there, you want to head over to H8, where there should be a 4-way split. At this point, you want to head south and follow the path, and this will zone you back out to Devoy, and the zone line will be at I8. As soon as you zone out, make sure you put invis up, because these are high-level orcs, and just walking a little bit up the cliff will actually cause them to aggro. So once you're ready, go ahead and walk up the cliff, and then go ahead and head east on the path. Be careful that you don't fall off, although it's very limited on areas where you can fall off, but you don't want to fall off the top area. So keep following the path east until it literally splits where you can go north or south. Go ahead and go south of the split and go click on the Wall of Banishing. It will say, there may be some way to break through. You are likely to aggro while doing this, so either be ready for a fight or time this very carefully. After that, head back north of the split and talk to Thidal Gajul. They will give you a white orb. At this point, you need to go to 4 ponds that are throughout the zone in Devoy. I would highly recommend that you go back the way you came to about H8 and then drop down so you fall in the river. At that point, go ahead and head north, and you want to make your way to the pond that is at H6. From here, you need to go around to the other 3 ponds in the zone at H10, L9, and E8. I recommend following the water down and basically making a counterclockwise path around. Be aware that once you actually click the last lake, you will actually get a really strong curse effect. It would be best to have a white mage, preferably Kupipi. Go ahead and engage also with a tank, so that way you don't quickly just get hit and killed because your HP is so low. They can remove the curse and then cure you up, and then you can proceed to go get the crest. So from here, make your way back to H11 and zone back into Monastic Cavern. And then make your way all the way back up to the Taru and talk to the Taru again. When you talk to the Taru, she will give you the Crimson Orb. At this point, you can now go to the Wall of Banishing that you were at before at J9. And this will take the wall down so you can proceed through and go back into Monastic Caverns. From here, just go ahead and follow the path around and then proceed north until you get to J6, which is where the question mark is. But when you get to the big room, make sure you hug the west wall, as there are multiple true sight NMs kind of in the middle of the room, a little bit off to the east. If you hug the west wall, you shouldn't have a problem. Also, once you start going in the tunnel and come out into the other room, be careful that you don't fall down the cliff where the question mark is, because if you fall down the cliff, you got to turn around and hike all the way back around. So once you've gotten the crest, congratulations, you now have all 3 crests, and now you can return to Matt. And you can now level up even further. You can now get to level 65, and you are that much closer to getting to the level cap. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. And may you have success in all you do.